Starting this point off from starting this from a point where we've got After Effects open, we've got our footage in, we've got footage of me crossing the road. There's me crossing the road. We've got footage of the car driving past, and we've also got the footage of me throwing a shape as though being hit by a car. Now, what I've done here, this is a slightly simplified version based on what we were doing before, where rather than animating me actually throwing the shape, we're just going to go for a still of this position here, and I'll show you how to mask that out, and we're going to animate that being going off in a second. So, first thing we need to do is actually split it off into the four layers that we're going. So, like I say, I've split these off from the original footage. So I've actually found a clean plate from the beginning. So this is a section of footage which is just the road, not doing anything. We've got that there. We've also got the footage of me crossing the road, and take it from a point where I'm standing, looking both ways, stepping off the curb and then walking to the middle. Now I've already lined this up with the footage of the car, and as you can see, I'm not quite sure why I vanished there. I think because the car comes in at that point, so we've got the car passing at that point. Now we should have that lined up. I think I've masked that off so you're not actually seeing that. So we should have that lined up at the moment, so that you can see the point that we get rid of me is the point where the car actually hits. Actually, you're not going to see that. So what I'm going to do, I'll put that opacity back up there. I'm actually going to pull that car footage just down to the bottom for a second so you can see. Ah, that's why. So we have an FX. Sorry, it's just a little thing on there. I know what happened there. So we're going to put that back up there. So it's just this little thing. If anything's ever missing, just check down here. That, the FX, turns it off or on all effects. So I'm going to have to put that back on the crossing for that bit, but we'll leave that off for the moment so you can see what's actually going on here. So we've got a point where the car is just about to hit me. I'm going to turn that on for a second. You'll see I fade out, and we've lined the car up with me. Now you see that's a point where I actually vanishes. Now what we can actually do, we can actually move that a little bit. So I'm just in touch with me. So the car is hitting me there. So at that point, we're going to be having changes and everything else. So we have me crossing, we have the car lined up, and bear in mind, none of this, we haven't done anything to any of this really, except opacity out that. I'll show you what all there is. I've actually pre-done the mask, so I'll show you how to do these, and I'm just going to be turning them on in a sec, because they do take a while, and it's going to be really boring for you to watch a video of me doing a mask. So we have me crossing the road, we have a clean plate in the background, which will become clear, we have the car coming through, and I am going to replace at that point by the still here. Bam. And you can see there, it's a point, the car's moving in, and we're going to actually have that shape there following that car. So, first thing we're going to do is look at this car here. Now what you can see here, there's actually two masks. There's this mask quite close to the car here, and all you need to do is you select the image, you select this button here, and you click anywhere into the thing, and anywhere into the shape, and it will start to mask that out. If you have a problem with that, you go back into the mask and you can edit it. I'm just going to delete that mask 3. Gone. So what we've done mask 1, which we've kept. We've gone all the way around the edge of that. We've got a little bit of a feather on that and a little bit of expansion, just because this needs to be quite tight around there. Because ultimately what you're seeing here is the car moving within the road. So bear in mind, the background you're seeing there is not the background. Actually, it is the background at the moment because you see the thing. If I turn the masks on, you'll see I need to turn the effects on there, don't I? No, I don't. Oh, just turning the wrong mask on. I apologise. We go into the car, we open it up, we look at the masks. We're going to go add, and we're going to have an add on that as well. So what we have here, we have the two masks. One for the shadow at the bottom, which, if you see down here, has quite a lot of feather. So I've feathered it quite a lot, 67 pixels. The top one, the actual car, only 2 pixels, and I've brought it in a little tiny bit. So as you see, as it drives past, that is what we're using. You can see there, that is the actual car. We've masked it off. You can see the background through it. We're not fussed about that. What we're doing is we're just taking out these bits here. As we add in the background from the clean plate, you'll see we're driving in there, and it should just look like the car's going past. There should be no problem. There should be no difference at all about that. It should just look fairly natural. Now you'll notice I put this bottom one on because without that shadow on the bottom one, if I remove shadow on the bottom, you'll see it looks a bit weird because it doesn't look realistic. We have that in, we have a realistic thing, and we're pretty much recreating the scene at this point. Okay. Now, why are we doing that? Because ultimately, knocking someone down is a bit dangerous. So we have the car and we have the clean plate. Now, we add the crossing in. We should have a point where we're driving up to me. Now, you see, I'm walking in. We've got me crossing over and then me vanishing. And all that should change there is me. There's a little bit of nice shadow that goes, but that's hidden by the car going past. There should be no change at all. And what we've done is we've added the cutout of the car over the top of that so that when I vanish, I'm actually being hit. So you'll see here, as I walk out, I'm actually hit by the car. So here we have a point, there we have the point of contact, and then I've gone. So all that is working absolutely fine. So what we have so far is me crossing the road, walking out, being hit by a car, but I'm vanishing. So what we have is this extra still up here. Turn everything else off and add this in. What we have here is a still. Now what I've done is I've actually drawn around me, I've done add there, which takes out all the background. You can see that's just with a mask. The same way we did before, selecting that, drawing around it. And we see I've also drawn around here, but that hasn't taken it out. So what you have to do with that mask, you have to take it to subtract, and it takes it from the other mask. So what we now have is an image of me, which is only me with no background. And just to prove that, we'll put the clean plate back in and see I'm on there. Now I've probably feathered that a little bit too much, so I'm going to drop the feathering a little bit on that. So drop it down to about 3 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels. The mask expansion's come out a little bit more. I don't want that. So 4, 3. So literally I'm taking that in a little bit by 1 pixel and then feathering it by 2 pixels. So I'm quite sharp on that. You see, it hasn't quite taken my face out this time. So what we have, and that is just a still. That's dead easy to make a still because all you do is you grab the footage, you take the playhead to the point where is the bit that you want to freeze and just go layer, time, freeze frame. And it will freeze at that particular frame. All the video footage you have from then on is just that frame. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you how this works now. I'm going to turn everything back on. So we have me walking across the road, we have the car hitting me, and then we have me turning into that. Now, what we're going to do is that me there is now going to follow the car. Okay? So what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do, we're going to transform, and we're going to animate the position and the rotation. So we'll set that on there to say these are the bits we want to change. I'm going to zoom out of there a little bit, and not too far because I think I want to be able to see what's going on. Spacebar to move that around a little bit. So if we go there, we've got me walking out there being hidden by some of the frame. We won't notice that in the final bit. Now at this point, we want to actually start moving along with the car. So I'm going to take me along there a little bit. I'm going to rotate myself a little bit to one side. So actually I can probably pull myself, because I've rotated myself, I'm going to pull myself back with that. Now, because I pull that particular shape, I can actually follow the bonnet of the car. So because I'm on animate now, I can go to the next frame. I'm going to pull myself a little bit along with that. I'm going to rotate myself a little bit more. So I'm pretty much lying on top of the car now. Let's just check that. There we go. Yeah, and I'm just going to stay with the car, move myself on along a little bit. So it's as though I'm actually on the car bonnet. I did 2 frames there. I don't want to do 2 frames. I want to keep this quite accurate. because there comes a point where I come off the screen very soon. On a little bit more. Like that. And like I said, just animating that each time. Advance it on the frame. So just following me on the bonnet of the car. I think I'm about to go off here. So I go to the next one. And I've got off the screen. I'm probably going to be about there. And I can now ignore it because it's just the car moving off. So if we zoom back out now, let's have a look at what we've got. Look both ways, walk out, go back up. There we go. Now bear in mind, that car is sped up, I think, by about 75%. So if I go into the time, and if I go into time stretch, oh no, 50%. So I've sped the car up 50%. So that's twice the speed. So it comes in, bang. Now you'll notice on there, there's a bit of blur in there, but that's quite sharp on there. So what I'm going to do, up here, we've got this little thing here, enables motion blur. So I'm going to turn that on there, and out of all the layers we've got, I think my still, I want that to have motion blur on. Now, if you look closely at what happens now, so look what happens when I switch it on. Nope, that's the wrong one. That one. Now, see, I'm blurred slightly because it knows there's going to be movement, so it actually adds a bit of movement. So that kind of matches in with the car a little bit. I don't really need to put it on the car because that's moving anyway. It tends to be something that's very useful for putting on stills to make it look like they're moving. So now, as I walk across now, hit, and then move off. And there we have hit by a car.